Hey guys, what's up? Matt here. This is a different episode of Closers or Losers because Jeremy is not here. He's sick, so it's just me today. So this is going to be a short one. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to take you through the NEPQ process. So I know that we talk about it. We obviously coach it. And if you go to salesrevolution.pro, then you can go through, we can teach you more about it. But we wanted to kind of break down in my terms as someone who's been a student and someone who now runs the company. What is NEPQ? So it stands for neuro-emotional persuasion questioning. And basically, it is a sales methodology which can be applied to all industries. And that's kind of the unique part about it, is it is industry agnostic. We have literally testimonials from like 7,000 or 8,000 sales reps over like 150 different industries, ranging from everything from selling pools to selling high-ticket coaching services to selling solar to selling merchant processing, debt relief services, cars, boats, you name it. And so why can it be, I guess, ubiquitously translated across all of these different industries? And the reason is because it's not like not a trick. It's just a method of like getting the answers that you require to make a sale. There are a couple of fundamental things that everybody needs in order to make a sale. And the first one is going to be, you have to understand what it is they're looking for, what it is they want. And that's what the connection phase is all about. What do they want, right? Because every single product or service or business is there to solve a problem. It either solves a problem or fulfills an emotional need. That is what businesses do, right? Apple solves a problem, fulfills an emotional need. Tesla solves a problem, fulfills an emotional need. Your business or the business that you work for solves a problem and or fulfills an emotional need, right? So essentially, there's a problem that needs solving. Therefore, there's an outcome in which they want. Okay, so that's what the connection phase is all about. And then from there, it's like, well, if they have an outcome that they want, we need to understand what it is they're currently doing about it, which is what the situation phase is, right? So what are you currently doing about the thing in which you want? And again, there are more questions around that. However, like fundamentally, that is what we're looking for, okay? The next thing that we're looking for is like, well, like if this is what you want and this is what you're doing about it, what are the problems that you're currently facing, okay, which is preventing you from getting the thing in which you want? So what are the problems? How long has it been a problem? What's causing the problem? And what kind of impact is that problem having? All right. So once we understand these things, then it's like we can start to put the pieces together. Right. And like you might do medical device sales where you have a 3-month sales cycle or a 6-month sales cycle. Right. So you might, the connection phase might be your first interaction. Then a month later, you might go deep into situation. A month later, you might go deep into that problem awareness phase. Right. Or you might be doing a high ticket sale where you're selling something for $10,000. You're selling it in an hour, right, off a one call close, and you're doing the entire process at once. So once we have an understanding of the problem, what's causing the problem, how long has it been, what impact is it having, then from there it's like, well, okay, well, let's say you're able to solve these problems. Like, what would you want to get out of it? Like, what is the payoff for you? And not only is what is the payoff for you, but what is the payoff for you in two distinct ways? The first being emotional and the other one being tangible. And so it's like, if I want to provide if I want to have access to better medication so that I can give my patients, if I'm a doctor, a better experience and help increase their livelihood and all that kind of good stuff, like that is a tangible benefit, which gives me an emotional benefit of being able to be a good doctor and have that feeling and being able to like, I'm sort of taking care of people, right? So I have a fulfillment of both tangible and emotional. If I'm buying a car, same thing. I fulfill the tangible requirement of having a car, but there's an emotional thing where it's like I have a car that I'm proud of, or I have a car that is safe for my family, whatever it may be. Every single product or service fulfills either end like that tangible and also emotional need. Even credit processing, like, well, what would it be like if you're able to save, 1.2% every single month? Like, what would you do with that type of extra cash coming in? Oh man, I could pay bonuses to my staff. I could go on holiday, et cetera. Like, there are significant benefits to the service in which you provide or the product in which you sell. Okay, so we have to understand those. There's a few more around solution awareness, but that's the real basic nuts and guts of it. Then from there, we go into consequence, right? There is no urgency without consequence. So what we're looking for is we're looking for the day-to-day ramifications of not solving the problem and not achieving the solution. And this is where, like, a lot of salespeople, this is, in my opinion, where the wheat from the chaff is separated. Because salespeople that are uncomfortable asking consequence questions are not going to be ultimately that successful, because discomfort is part of sales. Like, asking difficult and uncomfortable questions is one of the things that separates very high level salespeople from non-high level salespeople. And so consequence is a way in which you build urgency. So what we want to do is we don't want to pressure people at all. We want to kind of like, we want to get the wheels moving forward mentally of what their potential solutions look like for them on both a tangible and emotional level, how their problems tie in. But then we want to, on the other side, we want to kind of crank it. It's like, well, what happens if those are never achieved? What happens if you are not able to provide the highest level medical care for your patients? Like, what are the day-to-day ramifications of that? It's like, well, I might lose a patient. Are you willing to settle for that? Okay, no, you're not, right? So, you're looking for that real tangible, like, if people are more than happy to kind of explore the good, but we also want them to explore the bad. And that's how we create tension internally, and that drives urgency for somebody to want to make a sale, right? And again, you guys can find out more in-depth training about this at salesrevolution.pro. You can also go to our website, 7thlevelhq.com, right? But then once we get it from there, then we want to get commitment. So now we're going to go through commitment questions. Okay. And it's like, well, like, are you sure? You want to be doing this because, are you really ready to start making some changes and putting yourself in a position to where you can provide X, or is this really not the right time? And the reason why I ask it that way is because, like, I want people to push back on me and go, no, now is the time. I am ready. I want to do something about this. Like, okay, cowboy, that's fine. Right. So it's working with human behavior and not against it. Then from there, we go into our presentation phase. Now, the real difference, I think, between NEPQ and a lot of other methodologies is the presentation is quite short. It's no more than about 10% of the entire length of the sales cycle. So if you're doing a large B2B enterprise offering where you have, 5 or 6 calls that go for an hour long each, then, like, you might have a 30 to 40 minute presentation. But if you have a 60-minute call, your presentation should be about 5 to 7 minutes, right? It's because it's very difficult to kind of carry that emotional crescendo on moving forward, whereas enterprise level, like, there's like less emotion involved, and there's more stakeholders involved, and there's more legal reasons as to why you need more detail. But if you're selling, especially B2C, short and sharp, because, like, nobody wants to watch a PowerPoint presentation for 20 minutes. Like, you lose all the ground in which you've gained emotionally, and all that urgency is gone, right? Which is one of the reasons why we advocate for short and very concise presentation phases, which allow us to translate the important parts of the product or service onto the person without kind of like overloading them with information. More information is not always better. People don't necessarily make better decisions given more information. All right. So I wanted to get on here today, and Jeremy's away. I know you guys want to hear Jeremy spit hot fire, but kind of give my interpretation of what NEPQ is and why I think it's so industry agnostic. So you guys want to check out more of this stuff, go to salesrevolution.pro. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, all that kind of good stuff. I know this is a nice, short, sharp video, but I wanted to get on here and help you guys out. Let me know if you find that helpful, and we will see you guys when Jeremy's back on the next episode.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed these, here's another you can watch right over here, right over here. Join our free Sales Revolution group. Click the link below, join us, and we're going to help you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you real soon.